Ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome to the Ace K Baker Show. We're here in
New York, Harlem,
New York City.
Uptown, baby.
Uptown, baby. This is something my dear friend Asher Sommer, my brother, and I have been wanting to do for a very long time. And in 2024, in June of 2024,
We made it.
We made it happen. So let's go. Here's the thing. Asher is a fantastic human being. I've known Asher since I was 14, 15. So we've been friends for over 30 years. Yeah, you can do the math and figure out how old we are now.
Long time.
But that's beside the point. I believe that friendships should be treated like investments. The reason why I'm saying this is if you're looking at the most successful investor in the world, Warren Buffett, he started making his real wealth after he was 60 years old. And he invested with Charlie Munger and is still investing with Charlie Munger for over 60 years, guys, or over 50 years. So I believe you should invest in your friendships the same way, because then you get quality returns. And we have done this. We've invested for over 30 years. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, meet my friend Asher Sommer. Asher, give us a short rip of like your background, what you are, and then we'll get into questions, all right?
All right. I'm like a veteran in the fashion business. I'm in the fashion business since over 25 years. I started in 1997 with my own brand, but the whole story started earlier. That was like in the early 90s. I started in 94. I started drawing cartoons, and
I remember that.
So, and I was always drawing all the
Always.
time. So I spent
This brother tried to teach yours truly, and I failed miserably. Not because he was a bad teacher, I just didn't have the same discipline.
Yes, it takes time. You need to draw all the time, and of course, to become really good, you need to be very patient. So, and this is what I always did. And I wanted to land a job in Zimbabwe. So in '94,
I never knew that.
That is.
But everything you did was Zimbabwe.
That was before even we met.
Okay.
So and it was a winter time, and we came to the States. So we went to New York, and
Who was we?
me, my father, and my brother. So it was
The family.
It was basically our first holiday trip together.
Ever.
Yeah.
What year was it?
1994, beginning of 94.
That's wild.
That was like New Year's Eve. We arrived in New York.
First family trip ever.
First family trip ever.
Well, that's a doozy. That's a big one.
Yeah, because my father went to New York in '88, and he said like, yeah, it's an amazing place, and you gotta see it. So
I love that for you guys.
So it was like he wanted to show me the reality of what is going on, because we see America on television. We see like
We all looked up to America. Everybody in Europe wanted to be in California or New York or Miami, right?
yes, and like Northern Germany is like we basically adopt
The culture.
We adopt the culture. So people like to play baseball, and they're going on basketball trips and all that kind of stuff. That's something like that you would think it's about, it's going to happen in the States, but
100.
It's happening in Germany as well. So, and back to the topic, it's just like that, my father, he just wanted to basically give us an example of life.
Of what life could be.
Exactly.
Right.
So, and in this case,
I love that.
he just brought us to New York, but then it was like, we were like basically, with a very low budget.
Of course. So where did you guys stay?
If I tell you, you won't believe it.
Okay, let's hear it.
If I tell you, you really
Let's hear it.
I just went there. It was like this. We went to the JFK airport.
Yeah.
We took a ride with a shady guy, and he brought us to a hotel somewhere in 25th Street.
Okay.
And but the hotel was so expensive. We only had enough money to pay for. I think we had to stay outside for 3 nights.
Wait, you in the streets?
In the streets.
Wait, was this the summer?
Winter. New Year. So we arrived on New Year's Eve. So and it becomes even weirder.
Wait. Is this what type of ethnic neighborhood is it?
No, that was in Manhattan.
Okay, that was
But let me tell you.
Okay.
We didn't stay in Manhattan to stay overnight. I mean, like for the let's say like this, for the it was cold,
Yeah.
and we also had to best is like you're indoors and
Right.
not like outdoors. So we didn't want to do the whole Ninja Turtle type of way. So in that aspect, we just went to Grand Central Station
And that's where you stayed.
overnight.
Grand Central Station.
And that was-
Wait. How was it for you as a child? Were you like, my dad is crazy?
I was thinking like, first of all, where's the plan? Where's the plan for the trip? Yeah, I mean, like it was like
So your dad was freestyling the whole thing.
absolutely.
I love that for him.
So I was like, what kind of plan is this? What are you doing here? I mean, come on.
This is hilarious, bro.
So, but I didn't say anything. So I just, okay, he's my father. I have to show some respect in this
Right.
kind of way. And I was like, okay, then let's see what he's up to. So, and then, yeah, the first night we went out and it was in Grand Central Station. And, it's not the same fancy place like it is now. I just went there today.
Okay, I haven't gone, so tell me. Well, we'll make this short. But yeah, it's changed, but it was hot back then.
Now let's say like this, like it's one of the most beautiful places in the city, like
Okay.
architecture-wise.
Okay, I have to see it
but
before I
that
fly out
time,
tomorrow.
But that time, New York had such a big problem with homelessness. So you could see like there's a couple of thousands of people. Who would,
At the Grand Central Station.
yep, and they would be just sitting there, and they had nowhere to go. So at that very night, there was the first time that the first night that we stayed in the Grand Central Station, there was a blizzard outside. So
Wait, what? There was a blizzard outside while you stayed at Grand Central Station?
yeah, like it was like snowing like crazy.
And you're like, where's the plan that?
Yeah, and
Where's
we
the
were
plan?
like, first of all, we said like, let's go to Central Park and stay there. And then like the snow became a little bit too much, and like we were like really under thick layers of snow.
So for those of you who obviously don't know Asher, his dad was a good old white man. He's a farmer, farm boy. He had his own farm, and he was a tough guy.
He was.
Yeah.
So and he was always like very adventurous. So he was basically Crocodile Dundee, and
The German crocodile.
he was. So and it's not wrong. Nothing wrong about it. But, like,
No, I mean, I like that lifestyle for him. It's just a little wild, but you guys survived, and it made you better for it.
We did. And so that was like, we stayed there totally in the Grand Central Station for 2 nights. And one night we were walking through Brooklyn and Queens.
Right.
And that was like, it was crazy. So, because there was even the nights before I had the appointment at Marvel Comics.
Wait, what? You had an appointment with Marvel Comics
Yeah.
as a cartoonist?
Yeah, I wanted
How old were you?
15.
Now, how did you have an appointment with them?
No,
No, I don't know. That's why I'm asking. And they sure don't know.
no, it's just like this. Like at that time, I just called them up and I said I'm
You call
coming
them from Germany.
from Germany. Yeah.
So guys, like back then, it was super expensive to call from anywhere international. So you called from your home.
Yeah.
So how did you find Marvel's number?
Whoa. Good question.
I ask a question
It
sometimes.
was, it's just like I always bought the American version of the comic books because the German ones were
Were
like always-
translated.
They were translated.
It was trash, guys.
so
like,
and they were exactly not the same as
no, but
the
you
American
can't
versions.
you can't translate the vibe. We would
Not
be
possible.
even funnier in German, but we wanted more people. We wanted more people to hear this. So, also können wir ein bisschen Deutsch reden, weißt du, wie ich meine? Nein.
Immer Deutsch.
We're just playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's why. So you got the American version of the comics, and the number was in there.
They always show the editorial at the last page, and you see like basically like, the whole management and everything. They have like the credits like you see in the movies.
Right.
So this is how I got in touch with them.
At age 15, look, I think if you want to improve your life, think about being resourceful. If a black German kid, can open a comic book, find a number, and call the United States when this costs a lot of money, and get an appointment with Marvel, don't sell yourself short. I think like oftentimes we live in a land of one moment. We live
Unlimited.
in a land of unlimited impossibilities. We have all these roadblocks, and we think, I cannot do this, I should be doing that. So this kid didn't see any boundaries, grabbed the magazine and called up Marvel, and what happened there?
Yeah, I arrived. They were very friendly.
So you went to the offices, they invited you to come to the
Yeah, that was
offices.
in Park Avenue at that time. They later moved to another place. So, and I went to the main office, and basically I was ready to see Stan Lee and, and all of that. So, first of all, they gave us a tour around the building.
Wait, for those who don't know who Stan Lee is, can you explain it really quickly?
Yeah, he's basically the founder of Marvel Comics, and he's credited with inventing a lot of the superhero characters. And yeah, I mean, like he was basically also in every Marvel movie. He was always the old guy.
Well, I never knew that. But not sad. So like that's Stan.
Well, many people don't recognize him, but those people who love comic books, especially
They know who Stan Lee is.
They know.
And now I'll have to do that. I have to find out who Stan Lee is. Well, I mean, what he looks like. I know the name, of course. But so anyway, they walked you around the building.
Yep. And yeah, I just looked around, and they also showed me some new projects that they're working on. And that was at that time late. I think it was like not long.
Wesley Snipes.
Right. So that was way before the movies came out. So they already had the character and development. And yeah, and then I had like a talk with one of their. They have
what you looking for? A designer, a editor, and out there like a creative.
No, he's the person who hires the designers.
Okay, so like an HR person, you mean?
Yep, so to speak, yeah.
Yeah.
So and
a recruiter, internal recruiter, like
right.
everybody knows, like
right. So and he looked at. I brought all my
drawings
at that time. I brought them with me. He looked at it and he said, like, okay, you have skills. So, but he said, what you don't have is you don't fit into our in our margin of our type of artwork, because Marvel, they have their own style of
sure, of course.
It has to be superheroes, has to be muscular, and all that type of way.
Were you drawing droopy dudes or what?
No, but like
they weren't like they didn't look.
I have a different style.
Yeah,
so
well, I know.
I first of all, most of them they would use just the ink and do the outlines, and then they have the different person to do the coloring. So and I did both together.
Yes.
And I was a little bit more photorealistic. This is this was my approach.
Yeah.
So and they said like, okay, you have the talent, but you should try out with another company. And they said like, DC is down the block here. And I was like, I don't like this.
No. I feel
maybe
it.
some of the crowd roast me for that, but
but I feel it. Like we all have our preferences.
Yeah, and of course I like the characters, but I didn't see myself at DC. So I was like, okay, this is probably not my way to go. It's not my avenue.
So you took it as their word. You didn't try to like hustle them back or like get back into it. You were just like, maybe that's not the vibe.
Probably.
You were 15.
Yeah, I was 15. So it was like all or nothing for me at that time.
I feel it, and that's how I thought in that age too.
So and
either you're with me or you're not with me. You know what I mean? That's what I thought at the age of 15.
So and this was like something like, of course I was devastated, but on the other hand it's like, okay, I have to do something new. I want to try something new. So and it was during the same trip. We just left the building and we went to a direction of Empire State Building. There are a lot of fashion stores over there.
Right.
And that was the time when I first saw the Karl Kani collection. Karl Kani clothing. And
Karl Kani was like, there was cross colors, there was pili pili, there was
the pioneers of hip hop.
The pioneers of hip hop fashion. But Karl Kani, in my opinion, took it a notch up. It had like a super clean like K-A-N-I, right?
The signature was like even more striking because that was before everything else came.
I had a Karl Kani sweater. Like I loved that. That was my favorite sweater. I loved it so much. It was thick. It had these like
the rib of the sweater, the cuffs. That was like they had like better quality than everybody else.
Dude, Karl Kani murdered it.
Yeah. So and you remember like even I brought those hoodies back,
This guy always had Tim's, hella big baggy pants, and the freshest sweaters.
Yeah, and this trip was like the time that I went there to see the connection, and I was like, wow, this is something I want to do. So I was like,
inspiration. Your dad made you freeze a little bit,
yeah.
but he showed you what inspiration could look like.
Basically, it was a lesson from his side because he wanted to show me that life can be very hard.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong. He protected you guys. Okay, like most people would say, okay, that brother's crazy, right? But look what it did for you. Confidence. You went to the offices, you learned something, and you discovered fashion, man. And all because your dad took you to what? To
the streets of New York.
Mother, father, city.
To the streets.
To the streets of New York. So a lot of people would say, yeah, his dad is a crazy man, and the children should be in a
Nice
group
hotel
home,
or-
in a group home, or in some sort of like custody of the state, right? But like, look at what you get when you think outside of the box. Not only that, my brother has lived here in China for how many years?
17 years.
How long did it take you to learn Chinese?
Fluently, a bit longer, but like
How many years?
3 years.
That's not long. For a language that's completely outside of the Romantic, Germanic framework. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Asher, can you say to the audience that you're really grateful to be here with us, or something that you feel in Chinese or in Mandarin, please?
大家好，我现在在这里聊天，我非常感谢这个机会，你给我介绍我自己的世界。
I have no clue what he just said, but could you translate it for us?
Sure. So what I just said, like, I'm very grateful for the opportunity here to speak in front of your audience.
And I'm grateful to have you, and everybody who's watching this, I hope gets like good value out of this.
Everybody will.
Well, thank you for being here, man. This is probably the funnest interview I've done.
Okay.
Anyway, bro, so you get inspiration out of it. You see the fashion brands, and then what?
Yeah, it went like the next stage and another stage, and the next stage was like people saw that I brought very cool stuff over.
Right.
So everybody knew, like, okay, you see this on MTV. Your MTV Raps was like the show at that time.
Fab Five Freddy, right?
Yeah, and Dr. Dre and Summer.
And Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre and yeah,
Doc-
there were two Dr. Dre's.
Right, I remember, like, it's just hitting me back. It's been so many years since I've seen your MTV Raps. Best hip-hop show ever. If you can get your hands on, like, an old show of your MTV Raps, the vibes were honestly, like, the best hip-hop
You know, I
ever.
videotaped those shows, and I
So
watched
we
them
can
religiously.
make them available. You still have the videotapes?
No, they are gone. But like I had them for many
For years, of course. And I remember watching it with you in my living room.
Yeah.
So guys, I need to give you a quick backstory, right? So Asher and I met like in a public like swimming pool, like in the summer. I liked him, walked up to him, I'm like, what's up, bro? Like, right?
Yeah, right.
So from then on, he and I started talking, and we became friendly, and we became friends. But we weren't like super tight back then. But you must have sensed that I'm a cool dude. So one winter he calls me up, and I'll let you tell the story from here.
All right. Yeah, that was like it was a cold winter, and
German winters kept frigid, like New York City blizzards, right?
right. So and it was a time when we went through a lot of trouble. My mother had schizophrenia, and at
Sorry,
the same
bro.
time, my father had like a lot of expenses, and at that time we couldn't even pay our bills. So
They turn off the electricity and the gas, right?
right.
So I've never asked you this. Why did you decide to call me?
You were living by yourself
Right.
at that time, and I really didn't have anybody else I can trust. You don't talk to everybody about such things.
I'm glad I could be there for you, man. So this brother calls me up. He's like, bro, I'm cold. They turn off the whole effing electricity, everything. I'm fucking cold. Can I stay with you? And what did I say?
Yeah, come over, come over, and I came over.
And we lived together for a while. You know what? And we became like this, like blood brothers.
Yep.
And so it's a real honor to have you here, my bro.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be invited to your podcast here, absolutely amazing.
Okay, we love each other, enough of that. But listen, guys, like there's a lot you can learn from this guy. Not only is he a fashion designer, a master artist in drawing, he speaks Chinese. What's even more impressive, he doesn't only have his own clothing brand, Black Bob. You can find it on Black
Yeah,
Bob.
let me explain how I started with this.
Absolutely. Let me just finish the train of thought. So he does not only have a clothing brand, but he's a businessman. So there's so much we can unpack here. So bear with us for a moment. So let's hear how he got started with Black Bob.
Okay, so that was like one path led to the other. So it was like one step led to the other. So first of all, I brought a lot of clothing over, a lot of people liked it. So it didn't take long until the first stores were getting somehow that I'm able to, I did have the connection to bring something over.
Wait. Stores? So you mean like fashion stores in Germany?
Yeah.
What did they learn about you?
They just knew that I was one of the guys who was making trends. So
okay, they looked at you and they're like, hey, this guy is always fresh. He's a trendsetter.
Right.
That's awesome.
So and then I was asked like if I can bring some, if I can mail some clothing over. So I did that.
So you went to New York,
went to New York.
grabbed some clothes, brought them over.
Yes, and that was quite lucky because I had like relatives living in New York at that time. So I always went there to stay with them. My family is from Ghana.
Didn't your dad know you had relatives that you could kick it with at the time? He was just freestyling. Okay, enough said.
Yeah. So this is why I had to make the connections later, and I did the arrangements for the trip. So because my goal wasn't like to go once a year. So I went every year, and then I brought over the freshest stuff, the freshest outfit that you could imagine at that time. So people wanted to see exactly what they saw in the videos. I brought it. So that was the thing like this.
I love that. And you were how old at the time? 97?
No. 16, 17.
And you were traveling alone to New York, correct?
Yeah.
17-year-old kid already making business moves, guys, but probably without knowing that you were a businessman, right?
At that time, of course not.
Yeah, no, you were just doing stuff. That's why it's so good to not overthink things. People are asking, hey, how should I start a YouTube channel? Should I get the best light, the best mic? I need to wait. No, you go out and you start doing stuff. Use your cell phone. We don't even have a mic on this because I didn't prepare for this, and now we're doing it.
And there was even an inspiration at that time from the Source magazine, because I really...
The Source was like my favorite hip-hop magazine.
It's like this. It's a matter of like you can look at the pictures or you can read it. And it was basically brought to us by very intelligent people. So
right.
The publisher Dave Mays, like
was he the publisher of the Source?
He was the publisher.
See, I had an encyclopedia of the Source at home.
Yeah.
I never looked at who the publisher was. That's the difference between you and I. I'm just like, next. And you're like, oh, let me see who the publisher is.
Yeah, it was Benzino and Dave Mays.
Okay.
And I know that Dave Mays had a background in Harvard. I mean, the Source magazine started as a flyer in Harvard. And
okay, like you're breaking like news to me. Facts, teachable moment here.
Yeah, and I'm always studying the background, so it's like I'm getting into detail, whatever it is, I really dig deep. So the Source magazine, they had like a part of inspiring young entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So, and this was something that I did not read in any other kind of magazine. So that at that time you had like Word Up magazine or Vibe or...
I must have skipped right over that. All I wanted to see is Biggie and Tupac.
Yeah, and even they were...
I don't even remember that they had anything entrepreneur at the Source.
Yeah, but like I said, like this, like when Biggie started, it was also a big difference before Biggie.
Right.
Like a lot of the content of the rap music was very negative, and people were just like, "Oh, I'm surviving in the streets," and that was the message.
Right.
So all of a sudden, you have the guy like,
birthdays were the worst days. No, we're sipping champagne every Thursday.
Of course, and this was something I could relate to.
Right.
When I heard Juicy, that was a song like, "Hey, I want to turn my life around. I want to make my life better."
Right.
So
no, I feel it, because I wanted to sip champagne every Thursday, even though I didn't drink a glass of alcohol probably until I was 18, 19.
I did drink a lot, but
der Typ, der Typ war der Bierkönig. Der Bierkönig. Ey, und dann müssen wir ganz kurz, we have to like drop one. Like he said, I said he was the beer king. He was the self-titled beer king. And this inspired us to, we will start a fashion, like a line für Pulse. Also, the fashion line is just going to call Pulse, which is hard to translate. You'll have to figure that one out yourself. But it's fun.
But that's actually the part that we have to add a little bit later.
Okay, we will. And it's going to be von Kollegen
Für Kollegen.
für Kollegen, which means like it's from the homies for the homies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, you know where the inspiration came from. Fugu, for us, by us, right?
Yeah.
So like we're not reinventing the wheel, we're just improving it a little bit.
Right.
But it's gonna be a clothing brand that's gonna pack the punch and deliver.
That's what we are doing together later, and we are working on it.
We're working on it. So we just came up with it today, and we'll bring it to you within what? 12 months?
Yep.
We'll bring it
Very likely.
within 12 months. Because I bought the domain today, and I only bought it for a year. So our goal is to have a prototype ready for you that you can pre-order.
Yes.
Within 12 months.
Correct. Let's do it.
Von Kollegen für Kollegen.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, man, I interrupted you.
No, it's no problem. Okay, so when I did all these kind of shoppings for people, for stores, and for all of that, of course, I was starting to incorporate my own logo. So that was a time when I was like, I have to bring my own brand, because I saw like at that time, Echo Unlimited, they were just new.
Mark Echo, right?
Yeah, I saw them carrying the boxes into the stores.
Yeah.
That was like in the fashion district in New York.
Didn't Echo have that Rhino brand, or was it like a Rhino?
Yeah, that was the very beginning. So, and it was spelled ECHO.
Oh yeah, I remember
So
that.
that was the very beginning.
Well, Echo was hella fresh when they were alive, or like when they were working as a brand.
100%. Like one of the best launches of a brand ever.
I feel it.
So I was just lucky to be there. I grabbed one of their first jackets at that time.
Right.
So they were not available in many stores, and you know that was something like it opened my eyes, and I was thinking like, okay, I saw all of these brands. Like I remember like when Fubu started, I was there.
Right.
I remember when the Woo Wear started, I was there.
Woo Wear.
I went to Staten Island.
So for those of you who don't know what Woo Wear is, obviously Wu-Tang Clan, and they had their own clothing brand, right?
Right.
Okay, you went to Staten Island.
And I brought the T-shirt. I bought the T-shirts first and brought them over to Germany, and then, you know, people had their Woo T-shirts in our town,
Right.
and would go to the bigger city, to Hamburg, and represent.
And
it.
represent.
So
You know what's so crazy, guys? I've been here only for like 5 days, and I've connected with a lot of people, and I think I'll bring more content to you. But I've met some brothers and sisters in the Bronx who have barely left the Bronx. They don't know what else the city has to offer. And there's a kid 17 years old going all over New York City, going to Staten Island, Harlem, Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens. You pretty much know all the 5 boroughs, right?
I know them all, in and out.
So check this out. This guy's not born here, and he's been playing my tour guide for the time we've been hanging out. Guys, like, you gotta explore. Exploring opens up doors and opportunities. He just said, I was lucky to be here. Okay, Tony Robbins says luck is labor under controlled knowledge. So I think there had to be something more than luck, but he also made his luck happen. In Germany, you say, jeder ist seines eigenes Glückes Schmied.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I feel
And that means everybody is their own blacksmith of their luck. So that means, like, more literally, everybody's responsible for creating their own luck, because luck just doesn't happen. Why do people who are successful, and I'm not saying like rich, but successful in life, maybe they have amazing relationships, maybe they do have wealth, maybe they have amazing health, why does that happen? Most of the time not by luck. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it was like discipline is one point here, because it was at that time like I probably saved money for the whole year to be sure that I could fly to New York. Because
Oh yeah, you were going like clockwork. You were in New York for me.
my father did not give me any money for this.
So how did you save? From selling your own clothes, or it's working, or what did you do?
It's like this. I always had some savings from, because I have been doing some jobs once in a while.
Right.
I've been, I always took some small jobs, and later.
Like
it
what?
was- Yeah, that was earlier, but
You had a paper route, right?
also, yeah. And I had a paper route. I worked in a company that had to collect the magazines back from the newspaper stand, put them in order, and all that kind of stuff. So I did a lot of stuff before, like this kind of warehousing companies, and yeah.
Cool.
So, but like also, it was also a matter of saving money.
Of
so,
course.
let's say like this, like of course, like I would get some money from somewhere, and it doesn't need to make sure I don't spend it. So that's the thing.
Yeah, delayed gratification is what that's called. And if you can delay your gratification, especially among children, you see it, you're much more successful in life. Let's say you walk by a storefront, you see a jacket, some people go in and just buy that even though they don't have the funds for it. If you can walk by the jacket and say, I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna check my closet, I'm gonna make sure that I really need this piece of equipment, especially when money is tight, that's what is recommended. And that helps you make better decisions, because you may arrive at home and you may find that you don't need this jacket, and you should be focusing, like my good friend Asher, on saving maybe a little bit more to get closer to the dreams, or to get closer to being debt-free, or whatever that may be for you. You know what I mean?
Even simple things like cutting my friend's hair, because they had a budget for the haircuts,
Yeah.
and they gave it to me. And I cut the
Perfect.
hair.
Okay, so you had all kinds of odd jobs,
Sure.
and you always saved. Okay, what's next?
So, and then, of course, I was able to bring some stuff over, and I could also make some money from it. So I had my markup for
Yeah,
everything.
you had an import business all of a sudden.
Yeah,
You
and
probably didn't think it was an import business, but that's what it was.
yeah, and that's like when I was in school, I thought about, okay, I have to do more. So I came up with the idea to start the brand,
Right.
the Black Bomb brand. So that was my tag that I used to put under my drawings.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Yeah, and so from there I started. Like first of all with the drawings, and then I had it on T-shirts. I made the prototypes, and I showed it to friends, and friends were like, "Okay, let me have one piece." So I started taking orders, and at the same time, I had one good friend at school who just pushed me to register this
The
as a
trademark.
business.
Oh, it's a business.
As a business. So first of all, I start my own company.
Right.
So I have to thank him, because he really.
Who was it? Can you say? Or is it better?
Yeah, his name is Timo.
And what's the last name?
Timo Jajewski.
Do I know? Because the name sounds familiar.
The other Timo.
Okay, that's
It's a different guy.
okay. Cool.
So, but like he was there at that time, and in the beginning we had the idea to do it together. So, but then he said like, just go ahead and do what you do.
That's a good friend.
Yes, and I'm thankful for whatever he
Right.
did at that time, because he really saw like, okay, you just need to bring it to another level, and you have to do the paperwork. I wasn't familiar with paperwork at all at that
Right.
time. So when you register your company, you start with new duties. So you have to pay taxes. You have to write all your bills. You have to do all these kind of things by yourself. So that was still in school. I didn't graduate from school yet at that time,
Yeah.
and it was like it was a new thing for me. So, but then I started putting collections together. They came with the first sets of T-shirts, and then I had to be innovative also with the products that I put out for the next round. Because
Absolutely.
it's just like this: when you are doing fashion, the consumer, they like the first T-shirt, so you have to keep them interested in the brand.
Well, then I'd say one thing real quick. Asher came out with like this reflective logo. I think you may have been inspired by Kani or like by somebody in the States, and all of a sudden you had these sweaters with these reflectors that nobody had ever seen before.
Right.
And so I need to interject real quick. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. We're doing this at 3 a.m. My boy has to leave at 6. So Asher, I think we need to like just share the rest of your story, and I think we should do a follow-up interview when we get together next.
Oh, right,
So
right.
what I think is super important, like give us just like a couple more minutes on the brand, and then we'll talk just 2 more minutes about kind of your background, and then gotta wrap it up because you gotta go.
I understand. So it's like this. After that, the brand started developing step by step. I, of course, graduated from school, then I had to make sure that the brand is growing. So I had to go out at the right business plans. I took another job as a pizza delivery guy.
Mr. Pizza Man.
I did it, and then I got.
So you can side hustle while you build your business. And guys, if you're younger, the best time to do it is before you have kids, before you have a partner, before you have any responsibilities. Ideally, you live in your parents' house, basement, or whatever, grandma's place, and really have that cash aside so you can invest it into your business and you're investing in yourself, in your own future. What do you say?
Yeah, sure. And then also you need to see that the jobs that you're taking need to be enough space.
Yeah.
It's aligned with what you're doing. So the pizza job was pretty okay. I could do
Uber driving for some people is a great idea. It's not
Sure.
the best job and it doesn't pay very much, but it gives you the flexibility to work on your own terms.
Yeah, and afterwards I was able to drive taxi.
Right. Oh,
got the
I
taxi
forgot.
license.
Yeah. And that's hella hard to pass a taxi test back then in Germany because you had to remember the whole city and stuff, right?
Yeah, but as long as I did the pizza delivery before, I already knew all the roads.
Perfect.
So
Okay, so you did that.
yeah, so then continuing into this, I had to write my business plans. I had to get credits. I had to apply for a credit from the bank, and all this. I had to take the research.
I vaguely remember everything, but it's like a nebulous thing that's all coming back to me. It's awesome.
So it was just like, if you saw me at that time, I would just be running around.
I remember you were always marching like a German soldier.
I did. And luckily it all went the right way. I had to convince people to invest in me, and I had to make sure I don't disappoint them, because this is the most important thing.
Well, that's why I think words matter, but actions matter more.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you can be accountable at a young age, you were still a teenager, right?
Yeah, that time I was 19.
Yeah, so the 19-year-old kid delivering on his word, getting a credit from the bank. I will share so many tools and resources. I will have all these tools and resources available for you guys. But just take this and take that with you, that what you say matters, but what you do matters even more. Wouldn't you say?
Yes,
And
of
being
course.
true to your word matters. That will go a very long way in your life, in business, in your relationships. So, lying, being dishonest, cheating. If that was your past, drop it. Do better, right?
Yes.
And I'm not saying this from a standpoint of criticism, but if you want to elevate your life, you have to have the habits that successful people have in their lives, if that makes any sense. And successful people, you can say some cheat, some lie, but those are the exceptions. Because if you do long-term business and people want to do business with you, you cannot be a cheater or a liar, because nobody likes to be cheated on or lied to, if that makes any sense, right?
The track record is horrible.
Yeah.
Imagine you are borrowing money and you don't pay it back. Somebody will find out.
Right, and that doesn't go very long. But listen, Asher, so we got that straight.
Yes.
I feel like you need to give us a little bit of background, like what you're doing right now, and then we'll end it with sharing your social media habits. Hey, and if you got some value out of that, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, follow my boy Asher, and give us some support if you got something out of this so far.
So, yeah, let me just put it in a short way. I then started producing in different places because the production had to be outsourced.
Right.
And so first of all, I did it in Europe, then I continued in Turkey, and later I continued the production in China. And I visited China at a very early time, and I was very impressed. So this made me at that time think about, hey, I gotta go to a different place.
Okay.
There were a lot of other things in between.
Of course.
That was like a way for me to start new, and I thought like because in China you have like a lot of resources that you don't have in other countries.
Sure.
So I had the problem.
Can you give us one example of a resource real quick?
Yes. For example, fabrics.
Okay.
Let's say like this. In China, you have the production for most of the fabrics. You have, if you need to have something customized, it is there. If you need a laser, it is there. If somebody around the corner has it. if you need to over dye or you need to do any new finishes, washes, everything is available.
Okay, understood.
So in a lot of places.
So if you're in textiles, China's really great place to be, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay,
100%.
fair enough.
So and from there it makes the development easy, and so I and also the biggest problem I had before, many suppliers did not deliver up to what they promised.
Right.
So you imagine yourself, you start a new collection, and you have to
Postpone your launch.
not only you have to show the old samples because the new stuff that you received is like trash.
Right.
So I did trade shows,
Right.
of them, and the samples you couldn't use them, so there was not a chance. I had to just use the old ones.
Right. Correct.
So and I knew that I can do this a lot better. So that's why I then started into manufacturing.
Okay.
So I did this for 17 years. Built my own company, Next Level Garments.
Cool. How many employees do you have?
No, there are about 50.
Okay.
And
Respect. He's paying for 50 people to come to work. Okay? That's like giving a lot of people chances and opportunities. And if you want to put yourself in the same spot, you can reach out to Asher. You can follow him on social media and you can learn how he does it because he shares everything.
Right.
Right.
So I'm always
Has he
happy.
written a book? What's the name of your book?
That's like why I stopped thinking about racism.
Why I stopped thinking about racism. So we'll link it in the show notes. We won't jump into that. That's a whole interview for another time.
For itself.
But like this guy does a lot and he impacts a lot of people. And if you want to have an impact, maybe first in your own life, then in the life of your loved ones, and then you draw the next concentric circle, maybe of acquaintances, friends, or people that that you want to help. This is how you do it. You don't start by changing the world if you don't work on yourselves, right?
Right. So it's important to focus on what your goals are.
Right.
How important you take what you're doing, and it's very, very important that the energy never stops, because if you are getting, if you're doing things half the way, or if you are just getting distracted, nothing is nothing great is coming out of it anymore.
Well, and I agree with you. I mean, you said something interesting to me. You said, Ace, I'm sometimes an emotional person, this is so earlier. But he said, Ace, like, it's very important to get your emotions in check and be able to learn to control your emotions, right? Not to be too aggressive, not too sad, and that sort of thing. Asher, first of all, thank you so much for being here, right? We're out of time because we gotta go. But one thing I wanted to ask, just one thought. Is there anything of particular value that you want to give the audience, to something from your heart, or anything that you feel you want to share before we wrap it up and share your socials?
I like to.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's very important to always really focus on what is in front of you. Make sure that you understand that no matter what happens, it's not going to be easy. It takes time. You have to be patient. You have to push. You have to be strong and push. But it's not going to be easy. But you know the goal. It's worth it. It's the same if you are working out or if you are building a company. It's the same thing. It might not be easy, but you will get results.
I feel it 100%. And what you said, like, stay in it for the long term, right? Your way may not be straight. Your way may go up and down. And your trajectory may change a little bit, but don't let anybody change your goals. If you have an important goal, believe in it, and try to take a step in the right direction every day. Of course, there will be setbacks and step backs, but if you can just stay true to your goal or your course, that's where it's at. Right. Asher, thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gents, boys and girls, Asher, give up your social media handles and then we'll wrap it up.
Okay, so my social media is basically the Black Bomb brand is Black Bomb Clothing on Instagram.
Okay.
So make sure you follow that. And apart from that, you find my book online. It's on Amazon, Why I Stopped Thinking About Racism. I think it's a very important lesson for everybody, for all your viewers.
Right. I think so too.
It's a matter of attitude. And apart from that,
Do you share your personal Instagram, or is it just for close friends?
Only close friends.
Okay, understood. because I know you do a lot of teaching there too, but you teach on Black Bomb. Sometimes it flows together for me, like when I see your post, because I don't look like what the account that comes from.
Right.
But you're sharing and you're teaching on Black Bomb. On Instagram, it's just Black Bomb.
Black Bomb Clothing.
Okay, Black Bomb Clothing. And then there's the book. We'll link to everything in the show notes. And that's all we got, right?
That's all.
Ladies and gents, boys and girls, this was my my boy Asher Sommer in the house. Look at this real quick. Black Bomb. You see the bomb? It's not meant to blow up things, but it's meant to be there.
Live life louder.
Live life louder. I got an almost 2,000 watt stereo system in my car, so I can make some loud music for you. Give me a hug,
And we
brother.
had an amazing photo session here in New York.
Oh yes, we did a photo session. We can actually, may I use some of the photos for the videos?
Yes,
Show
of
the
course,
brand?
of course, of
We'll
course.
drop some of his clothes in there. I had the opportunity to model with your cousin and one of your best friends, Leon, right?
Right.
And yeah, man, it was fantastic. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for
Thank you
this.
for this opportunity. And thank you for inspiring your audience, because it's so important that people are doing this. A lot of people have the chance through this to develop their own avenue for themselves.
Bring it in. All right, love you guys, and I'll see you on the flip side. Peace.